You were not here on Friday. You missed the test. You need to figure out when you're going to make it up. Lucky you, I'm behind in my life, so I have not graded or entered those scores in. The 0 is not in there to affect you yet, but it will be shortly. Okay. And then, sorry, I'm still going to go with my whole rant, even though he's walked in the door. He doesn't care. It'll be okay. So, we got all new groups because we're on a new chapter. I'm so sorry that that's going to happen every single chapter. So if you want to cry like 5th period did, 'cause they did have a little bit of a pity party, I'm so sorry. You got to learn to work with others. That's kind of the whole point, in my mind, of Discrete. Okay, and then we were going to do number 13 and 14 today, but I don't think you've had enough time to deal with them. Does someone have an answer to 13? Or are we going to save this till tomorrow? Because in 5th, we need to save it till tomorrow because no one had a thought.
Wait, give me a second to read it.
Okay. Okay. Because I see Brittany has something down for 14. So you go ahead and get them done today. Y'all can be ahead. That's good. I have no problem with that. Oh, Lord, she's going for the calculator.
Yep. You know I'm trying.
Oh, Lord, she's going for the calculator. Okay.
Yes.
Brittany's motivated, so we'll be motivated with her. We'll at least do 13 today. I need you to at least pick Gloria or Sarita is correct. I'll give you this hint. One of them is. One of them is. It could have been nobody. One of them is correct. One of them is correct. So we got to think through who it is. Why don't you talk to your new people in your group and see who they think it is. See who they think it is. I'll give a point for the group that knows the right person, but I'll give 2 points for the group that can tell me where the mistake happened. Whoa, that was the fastest hand yet. Okay, is it to correct who did wrong, or to tell me who did right?
Whichever one.
Okay. I would love to hear from Lauren's group. Who do you think? Just pick somebody. Pick somebody. It doesn't matter. Gloria or Sarita? Okay, so table 1 says Gloria. We got Gloria 1. Okay, Brittany, what does your group think? Gloria or Sarita?
What are you talking about?
Which person? Brittany, Gloria or Sarita?
Is there a possibility?
Which one?
Gloria and Serena.
The two.
I see Luna and Sophia. I don't see Gloria and Serena.
She got that one off the thing.
Oh, that's the new one for this week. Oh, you know how you abandoned, well, you didn't abandon me. Y'all did show up about halfway through the period yesterday. Remember how you abandoned me yesterday? So we're still on last week's math workshop because you abandoned me yesterday. So we're still behind. Yes. God forbid y'all go to a college fair. So now we're behind. And we're still on last week's. Now I understand where you're confused. That explains a whole lot, and that explains, okay, never mind. We're going to come back to Brittany's group. Andrew, does your group think Gloria or Sarita?
Sarita.
His group thinks Sarita. Misha, does your group think Gloria or Sarita?
Sarita.
Okay. I'm going to vote for, go ahead and vote.
Wait, is there a possibility that they're both correct?
There's not a possibility that they're both correct. And I'm about to break Brittany's heart because she came up here to figure it out anyway. Since we aren't sure and we don't know, and that's okay, our actual notes today are going to go really fast. So at the end of class, your group needs to come back to this question and we'll talk about who's right tomorrow. One of them is right. One of them is wrong. And you will get 2 points if you can show me where they went wrong. But we're not just going to sit here on it. You need more time to think about this one. We can come back to it.
Oh, wait.
Okay. I need you instead. Can you flip to the back of your paper?
Wait, can we still tell you who's right?
Oh, I can tell you who's right.
Wait, because Kate, we just...
Is this Sarita?
You can just plug it in and you'll figure out who's right. Yes.
Is this
Say,
Sarita?
now you got thoughts? Yes, dear?
I think I know one Sarita.
Who was it?
Sarita's right?
Is Sarita correct? That's it. If I read it right, I know one Sarita. It's Gloria, isn't it?
Okay. If this is going to drive y'all crazy, then let's just go over this. The answer is Gloria is correct.
Hey, yo.
Gloria is correct. So I get that point to myself. Gloria is correct.
Wait,
I should have pointed trying.
That's true. Your group can have a point for Gloria. Gloria, but I need your group can get 2 more points for telling me why. Because Blah. Where did Sarita go wrong?
Sharita. All right, Dick. What up?
Somebody on your paper who doesn't need to touch the screen like the tactile one here. Where did Sarita go wrong?
I know.
Where?
Because that's supposed to be. No, it's on both sides.
Oh, it's the 20, like, that's not a negative 9.
And your group gets 2 more points. 26 minus 17 is
I was
not
gonna say
negative 9.
negative, but
26 minus 17 is positive 9. So your group gets 2 more points for that. That one was hard to start off on a Tuesday. And then, of course, Dr. Hester walked in on it. Like, that one was hard. I give you that.
I'm just confused. I thought you were supposed to, like, plug in a 0 to 1 and get one answer and then...
So all my words didn't come out because I'm like you, I get distracted. So you learned in algebra 2 with Treg and even in algebra class, substitution, elimination, and graphing. This is elimination in action because notice the y's were canceling out. They were eliminated. And both students seem to understand that you were supposed to eliminate a variable. So both of them made it where the y's canceled out and you ended up with just the x's. So you got a value for the x. And both of them were smart enough to then, once I had an answer for x, one of my equations used to be 6x minus 4y equals 26. But I know x is 3. So everywhere I see an x, instead of putting x, I put 3. So both of them had all seemingly the right steps. Poor Sarita is like you. She made a tiny, tiny mistake. She thought 26 minus 17 was negative 9. But sadly, that led her to the wrong x. And then when she plugged it in, it led her to the wrong y. So that tiny thing led her all wrong. Tiny, tiny issue led her all wrong. Are there any questions about that one? Yes, dear. Okay, from last week's. I'll give you mine when we get done. Tomorrow I'll give you mine. Okay, let's flip to the back of your paper. Flip to the back. We're going to answer 5 questions. It is not going to hurt your grade unless, of course, you're sitting there playing on your phone, in which case I will remember this moment. Flip to the back of your paper. We're going to answer 5 questions to get us ready for this chapter. Okay, so this chapter is probably my favorite chapter. Well, one of my favorites. I like it more than the logic one because there's a right and there's a wrong. But it's all in the wording of the question. So we're going to practice being particular with our words with 5 examples. I'm going to read a sentence to you, and I need you to decide if that sentence is true or if that sentence is false. Is it true or is it false? Okay, if you're lazy and you don't want to spell out true or false, what could you put instead? If you have bad handwriting, which 2 of us, at least in the room, do. If you have bad handwriting, it might help to spell out the word true and spell out the word false to make sure I know which one you mean. Because it has to be one or the other. Can't be both. There's no middle man right now. Okay, so here is your first sentence to think about. One of us is a boy. One of us is a boy. Is that true or is that false? I just need you to put T or F on your paper.
Oh, we're not asking?
We're going to come back and talk about the answer in a second. I just need you to put T or F on your paper. One of us is a boy. We'll talk about the specific wording in a second. One of us is a boy. Okay, I don't know. The second question is all of us are girls. All of us are girls. So put either T or F. All of us are girls. Okay, the third question. We are about the same height. We are about the same height. Is that true or is that false? You just need to pick one. Okay, our fourth sentence is at least one of us is 5 feet tall. At least one of us is 5 feet tall. Is that true or is that false? And then our last question, at least one of us is not wearing jeans. At least one of us is not wearing jeans. Okay, you've got new group members. You can talk to them for a second before we go over the answer. Make sure you're on the same page with your answers. One of us is a boy.
Oh.
Okay, the chatter chimed down, so that means we can go over them. One of us is a boy. Is one of us a boy?
Yeah.
Yes, there is a. And so I could say yes, example, and I could put Royal, or I could put Grant. Example, Grant. Or I would use better English, but Grant is an example of a boy, so that is true. Yes, dear. Well, if we're doing boy or girl, which fraction are you going to fall in for me? Okay. All of us are girls. Is that true? And then you could say Grant. I'm now going to pick on Grant because he opened the door for that. Grant is not a girl. So it's false, and you could give a reason as to why it's false to help me understand your reasoning. Now, the wording was what was particular. One of us versus all of us. That does matter in this section. Okay, the next one's even worse. We, who is we? We are about the same height. I'm guessing we means, and I saw Andrew do hands like this, I'm guessing false too, because I think when I hear we and we're in a giant room with all of us together, I think all of us, and no, we are not about the same height. But if Forrest stands next to me, and we're just comparing me and Forrest, maybe me and Forrest only, are about the same height. It depends on who the we is. So false, and I'm going to put something funny. I'm short. Miss Compton is short. False, Miss Compton is short. Okay, number 4, at least one of us is 5 foot tall. Is that true or is that false?
True.
It's
True.
Who in the room is over 5 foot tall? Is there at least one person in the room over 5 foot tall? Okay. Grant has his hand up, so true. Jim is over 5 feet. If we were in an elementary school class and we said one of us is 5 foot tall, does that have to be true then?
Yeah.
Well, maybe the teacher. But as for the kids, no. It depends on who the us is. Back to it depended on who the we is. It just depends on the situation. And then our last statement, which does depend on our class at this exact moment, and I know it's false, at least one of us is wearing jeans. Forrest does not have on jeans. Does anyone else not have on jeans? Grant, don't you have on shorts? So since I've been picking on Grant, let me write his name again. False, Grant has on shorts. So we just have to have one person to counteract that statement. But back to, it was all in the wording. It was all in the wording. Yes, Grant.
You said number 5 again?
5 was at least one of us is not wearing jeans.
Oh,
it's true. Sorry. So it's true. My bad. I'm like you. I get to circling. It's true. At least one of us is not wearing jeans. Forrest is not wearing jeans, and he is one of us. So there's at least one of us. Can you hand me your book, Forrest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this chapter is involving this thing. It's called truth statements. You did it a little in geometry. You took it easy then, to be honest. We're gonna ease into it, but we go a little deeper into it than geometry ever did. Okay, so I need you to turn in your book to page 8. Page 8. Now, again, it all depends today on the wording of the question. If they say one of us, all of us, some of us, that matters. Is not wearing, is not wearing, that matters. The wording of the question matters, so you need to pay very close attention. But as for today, we're going to keep it simple. I would say it's my favorite section. It's probably not true. I like a lot of the stuff we do in here, I'm not going to lie. But it is a cute section because we get to look at smiley faces. So on page 8, we see, and I'll read the top, it is important that we be precise about what a statement means in this section. Each statement has the property that is either definitely true or it is definitely false. So Blake has to decide from here on out. It's either true or it's false. There is no in between. True, false, it can't be either or both. No, it's either one or the other. It's either black or it's white, one or the other. Okay, a statement may change from true to false depending on the group of objects we are considering. For example, the statement, everyone is at least 16 years old, is true in our room right now, in this classroom full of seniors. Yeah, everyone is 16 years old at least. But, if we're talking about the entire school, no, everyone's not 16 years old. We have freshmen and stuff. They're not 16, so it depends on who the we is that we're talking about. Okay, so, we've got 4 cute pictures at the bottom. These are our main focus for today. So we've got the naked smiley face. Avert your eyes, children. Ignore the naked smiley face. He is naked. Or we have the smiley face with the top hat. We have a smiley face with glasses. Or we have a smiley face with top hat and glasses. He's the fancy one. He's got it both. Okay, so we've got these 4 faces. And we've got these 2 statements above these 4 faces. One statement is P, I am wearing a top hat. The other statement is Q, I am wearing glasses. Okay, so I'm going to help you with number 1, and then after that, you're on your own. Our goal, yes, is to finish all 14. Caitlin's group is easily going to finish all 14. I'm not saying once you hit 14, you got to call it a day. If they were being smart and trying to get ahead, they'd keep on going. But your group needs to at least hit number 14 today. Okay, so the first question, you're like, how am I going to do that many, Miss Compton? They're kind of easy today. So, for which of the images in figure 2.1 is P true? What did statement P say? What were we wearing? Hat. So I drew my picture of a hat. So in which of the images was the smiley face hat on the top hat when? B and D. So if you look back at, and I'm going to get Forrest back his book in half a second. If you look at our picture, in B, I have on a top hat. In D, I have on a top hat. So the answer is B and D. Now, if Forrest wants to be lame, he can write B and D, and that's the right answer. Good for him. Or, if Forrest wants to have a little fun with his life, because I can grade either way, he could draw me a picture of B. B is just the top hat.
Oh, yeah.
D is glasses and the top hat. I think that's way more fun to draw pictures, but I am an elementary school teacher at heart. So, anyway, it's up to you. So, your group needs to work together and finish the first 14. As long as your group gets to 14 and you're not on my last nerves, you're going to get a 5. But seriously, when Blake hits 14, because he will, he ought to just keep on going. It will help his future self. Here you go. Are there any questions about what you need to do?
So number 14 is our